Welcome back to Spitballin Cards. In today's video, we're talking about spring risers, those players in spring training who are having great years and what that means for their cards. In this episode, you have me, Scott. We have Phil, Chris, and Ty. Good to see you guys. Let's just jump into this. Who are the spring risers? Ty, I think you have something you want to share, or Phil, do you want to lead this one off?
Let's start with Phil.
All right, so this is 2023, and this is the spring training leaderboard sorted in descending order by home runs. And Matt Olson's up at the top, like, cool. He probably had a really good year that year. But
yeah, 50 home runs,
yeah. Anyways, so some of these other guys, though, like, where are they now? Mike Brousseau, Romy Gonzalez, Andres Chaparro.
I think Mike Brousseau is still living rent-free in Aroldis Chapman's head, but otherwise I don't know where he is physically.
Derek Hall, Michael Massey, still in the league, but, like, yeah, Parker Meadows, okay, like, Miranda. Most of these guys didn't break out. Of course, Joe Adell's over there.
Chris Bryant's at 13, so that shows how dumb this list is.
Yeah, and actually, Chris Bryant just had his third hardest hit ball ever, by the way. It was like a 460-foot home run this year. So what I will say is that you should take spring training with a grain of salt. You shouldn't really pay too much attention to the results and more on process. There's a few specific things that maybe if we have a chance, I'll try to cover up, like what actually could be useful to pay attention to. But I'm going to turn it over to Ty. I think he's probably got some market movers of late with some of the hot spring starts.
Just looking at some of the guys that are young that have been hot. George Lombard Jr. is the hottest. This is the last 2 weeks, and he's up 23% over the last 2 weeks on 192 different cards with sales and market movers. Jack Kaggleon up 17%. Curtis Mead is up 15%. And then the same guy that gets hot every year and doesn't do a whole lot during the season, Christian Encarnacion-strand. He always has buzz around him in like a good week, and people are like, "Oh, this guy's gonna hit for it." Hits the game. He's up.
He's the one guy who goes to Great America Ballpark and can't hit there. It's weird.
Yeah. Cam Smith 7.5%. Butler and PCA seeing some love, and then notably, in spite of, Dominguez has been okay. He's got 3 home runs in spring training. James Wood has been a monster. He's down 5.5%. But a lot of this has to do with the fact that it's Series 1 cards still cooling down significantly. So I think that's more than otherwise, without looking specifically at his Bowman cards. So these guys are all, there's been some hot players. There's been some excitement, as always, around certain young people.
Lawrence Butler's on there. He's someone I really like. Really like Lawrence Butler. He's one of those players I irrationally like, and so I will not buy his cards because it's not based off of anything besides I just like him. That's a dangerous thing if you're looking to have your cards go up. But his cards are still affordable for how much hype he's actually had. Like his PSA 10 mini diamond refractor, that's a mouthful. But basically, his Bowman Chrome autographs and PSA 10 condition are cheap, even for the rare stuff.
Chris's favorite parallel.
Yeah,
it's a mouthful.
He doesn't have a first Bowman autograph, I don't believe. I think he was in 2018 Bowman draft. What Scott's talking about, probably the stuff, the rookies from last year. So he was just signed long-term to a team-friendly deal by Las Vegas. Is that what we're going to call him now?
Let's call him the Nomad.
And that could be a reason for the bump. And also he's been doing well in the spring. There's an article written about a swing change also from Aaron Layton. And late in the season, that might have attributed to some of his success too, in September, et cetera. So George Lombard Jr., this guy's interesting. If I was to just sum it up with one sentence, I'd be like, he went up because he's a Yankee. But Yankees first round selection in the 2023 draft. He was in single A for the most of 2024. 19 years old. His father actually played baseball too. Same name. 6'3", 205 pounds. He's a speedster. He doesn't strike out a lot. And I believe he's transitioning to third base, or at least getting some reps in at third base. He's a natural shortstop. Baseball America ranking 88th overall. Keith Law's ranking, I think, like 98th. And he's about $120 for base Bowman Chrome auto now after that increase, which is about $20 more than what you'd pay for the same card of Kyle Tucker.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, the Yankees need a third baseman desperately. So if he can play there, he might stick.
Yeah, the lack of Arenado trade maybe is a reason why he also went up a little bit too.
The way the Yankees organization operates is he will not be up anytime soon. They ruin a lot of development. Like it was out of ordinary to have Volpe go up as quick as he did. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I would be shocked to see him up in 2025 at all. And I'd even be surprised to see him up in mid-season 2026, just with the way that they operate.
Yeah, the Yankee plan is leave them in the minors till all their trade value is gone.
Yeah, I don't understand it. They did the same thing with Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones was great last spring training, and then he wasn't great in the minor league season, and then he had a great spring training again. I doubt he'll make it again. It's just how they operate for whatever reason.
Yeah, so next guy, Jack Kaggleon. He is the savior right now for 2024 Bowman Draft Wax, which is finally on the rise. There's been some dealer-to-dealer sales of high 400s for those jumbo, or now they call them regular hobby boxes, and that's down from a low of like 400-ish or low 400s. 115 exit velocity is what he had on one of his 3 home runs, and he's had 3 homers and 13 at-bats. So we're recording this Monday night. And when I grab the data, 18. So it's a 1.871 OPS. What's probably most interesting to me is 5 walks to 3 strikeouts. But it's really, really small sample size, 13 at-bats. So it doesn't really matter. His base Bowman Chrome Auto from 24 Bowman Draft is selling for about $700 in a PSA 10. So quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're trying to fast track him too, right? Like he's not pitching anymore, and I think they said they're going to get him some reps in the outfield just to kind of speed up his availability to the big league club, which is always a good sign. And man, you could see him slotting right behind Bobby Witt Jr., and that gets pretty exciting.
He's looked awesome. He's another guy I get kind of irrationally excited about. We'll have to see what happens to him, but where did he go in the draft?
He was 6th.
He was after. I think the Rockies took Charlie Condon. I would have loved to have him taken Kaggleon at this point, but we'll see. It's early.
We will see. Yeah. Small sample size. I mean, the 115 exit velocity, given what I've seen from him already and how he swings, that shouldn't really surprise you. But anyways, we'll learn more. And maybe the AL Central is going to be better than the AL East, Scott, pretty soon. Cam Smith. Cam Smith is the next guy. 1.362 OPS with 3 homers and just 26 at-bats in the spring, 5 walks to 6 strikeouts. So this guy's a masher, and the Astros actually got him in the Kyle Tucker trade. So it's nice to see the early return because he literally got drafted in 2024 in the same draft as Kaggleon, I believe.
He was 14th overall.
So this guy's like, he's mostly a hitter, meaning like, low
power.
He drew comps to Alec Boehm, in that he might not get to all of his power. So he hits the ball hard, but maybe doesn't elevate it enough. And he might be too big to stick at third base long-term, and he could be an option for the outfield. He's getting some reps in right now in the outfield in the spring. It actually looks right now like 50-50 chance he cracks the roster, which would be huge after losing Bregman and Tucker for their offense. Give Jordan a little bit of protection there. And his raw Bowman Chrome Auto is selling for about $120. Just like I think Lombard was right there too.
Yeah. And yeah, he's getting reps in right field too. Similar to Kaggleon, like they're trying to find a way to get him into their lineup, which is a good sign.
There's a few I wanted to ask you about, Phil, as a Red Sox fan. How do you feel about the 3 young guys who are making a name for themselves? They make you excited about your future with Roman Anthony? What are their names of the other 2? Marcelo Mayer. And what's
Christian
the last guy? Christian Campbell. How are you feeling about that this spring training?
Haven't really been paying too much attention to the results. It looks like Christian Campbell, like they really want him to be the second baseman, and he has a better chance of making the team quicker. I don't know if it'll be opening day necessarily, but Roman Anthony could join the team as an outfielder in maybe July, August, which would be nice. Marcelo Meyer was like he was a top 10 guy for a while. I don't know what he is now, but he's fallen a little bit. So
he's like I think he's like 12. Like he's still right there.
Yeah. But he's no longer like the main attraction, it's nice to have the depth, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't expect too much from them this year with contributions, as rookies, but maybe in 2026 they'll be able to provide more value.
Obviously the Red Sox have a great minor league system. It's interesting because we had Chaim Bloom, who came in and did a great job of building this, and then he got fired because of the Mookie Betts trade, even though he's probably forced to do it. There's a whole bunch. He got screwed. He built this up. They just traded a couple of Kyle Teal, a couple of others for Garrett Crochet. Are you going to miss any of those prospects, or are those just nothing burgers for you? Obviously, you need Crochet to be good now, but are you concerned about that particular grouping of prospects versus what you kept, or how do you feel?
Not too concerned yet, but we'll see how those guys develop. Because things change. We traded the massive trade to get Chris Sale. We gave up Yohan Moncada. That felt pretty painful at the time, but then looking back, it's like
it worked out pretty good.
Yeah. So there's always like those guys that look like they can't miss, but there's a few things that didn't stand out in Ty's data because the prices haven't changed as much, and it's stuff that's more interesting to me. So swing speed and exit velocity for hitters, it's meaningful if it's something that's like, outside their normal range. So I think last year, Jackson Chourio, he put up like a really high EV in spring. He was 20 years old last year in spring. So filling into his body, it kind of made sense. Like we hadn't really seen too much in the way of like anything close to 110. And he put up something in spring, I think. And Corbin Carroll in 2023, the year of his breakout, he showed some promising exit velocities. We questioned how hard he could hit the ball, being a smaller guy. This year, actually, Corbin Carroll, with the shoulder and everything, he, trusted the data. This could be a measurement error, but 110.1 miles per hour, it matched his career best exit velocity. And for you, Scott, Nolan Arenado, his swing speed is up, and with that comes a shorter swing length too. So that could be interesting with Arenado.
Yankees are going to trade Lombard for Arenado.
That actually wouldn't surprise me. I don't think the Yankees could take on his contract now with all the injuries they've had to their starting pitching. They've lost 3, Clark Schmidt, Luis Gil, and Garrett Cole. And the depth they were going to trade from was to get rid of the contract of Stroman. They can't get rid of Stroman now because they need Stroman, so now they can't take on Arenado.
He's like their number 4 starter now.
Maybe number 3.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Yankees can do anything unless they trade away a lot of prospects to have someone else eat Arenado's contract or have the Cardinals to eat. I just don't think it's going to happen anymore, unfortunately, for the Yankees.
The Arenado thing is weird because they were very clear, like, we're trading this guy. We don't want him back. And now he's back.
I know.
That's got to be kind of uncomfortable.
That's got to feel bad if nobody wants you like that.
Yeah.
It's like
I wouldn't be surprised if they ate some money to get something of value back. Same thing with Sonny Gray, who, by the way, is getting his ass absolutely murdered in spring training. I don't know if you guys, he's given up like 5 home runs in spring training, he had a great year last year, and he's just been getting absolutely shelled.
How would you feel, Chris, if I went to a chat with all the different baseball card podcasts and I said, hey, who wants to take Chris? We'll trade you for whoever. We'll just take him. And no one took you. Would you feel bad?
I would feel bad if I knew about it.
And knew about it. Hey, Chris, you're not going to be here next week. We're going to trade you.
Oh, I would be a giant asshole the next time we recorded. Like without it, bigger than
that's what happened. Nobody wanted him. The Astros did, and he declined it. I bet he regrets that decision.
I'm sure he does.
I think he thought he would go somewhere else, and then it just didn't happen.
Phil, I'm surprised you are more like optimistic on these 3 Red Sox studs. I think we're going to see a lot more of them this season than you think we will. I mean, what can we? I mean, Mayer could be your starting shortstop on May 1st. I mean, I don't know what we're expecting Trevor Story to do, but when he goes down, Mayer's
you're right
there and ready.
This is the year for Story.
And Vaughn Grissom's been getting a lot of reps at second base too, so it may be Grissom that starts. I love that guy, former Brave prospect. I would love to see the Red Sox give him at least 2 months.
Phil, I have an idea. You should trade Vaughn Grissom for Chris Sale.
That worked out well. At the time, I was like, Sale's, he's useless. So
when's the
Story's playing well in spring training.
He does. Story also looks good in spring training.
Yeah, which
so does your boy Trace Thompson, who's got as many home runs in 30 at bats as he does in the last 2 years.
That's where it falls apart for me a little bit with spring training stats. Spring
training is so weird sometimes.
All right, speaking of outrageous stats, Ty, can we talk about Pete Crow Armstrong for a few minutes?
Yep. Pete Crow.
One of our viewers is a huge Pete Crow Armstrong collector.
He's excited.
I'm sure he's excited to hear us talk about.
He's exciting. He's up 4.7% in the last 14 days. He is actually a name that I've been hearing. He's been a little buzzy, especially around Cubs fans. Obviously, are very excited about him. Up 11% in the last month. I can pull up some.
He's hitting over 500, and it's in like 13 games. Like he has a decent number of at bats now, and he's still over 500 with some power.
His Topps Chrome raw rookie autograph, just raw rookie Chrome autograph, is up 100% in the last 30 days. From $45 up to $93 on the most recent sale. So
that is notable for sure.
That card's trending upward.
What did it start at, Ty?
It's 45.
If you would have taken out your 401k
Yep.
and you'd have bought 100,000 of those, you'd have been rich right now.
Yep, you would have.
What's
That assumes a hell of a 401k already.
Yeah, I wish.
what about Jackson Chorio? He's been having a good few weeks, right?
Churio's rising.
Yeah.
So with Chorio, one of the things I noticed is I was hard on him last week because I'm like, he needs to steal more bases if he's like 98 or 99th percentile sprint speed. He has 7 attempts already with 34 at bats. Last year in spring, he had 3 attempts and 62 at bats. So he's running 4 times the rate versus last year's spring. I don't know if that means should mean something. It can't be bad, right?
Yeah, more established. He's got some confidence now. Maybe he got the green light from their manager.
His PSA 10 auto's down over the last month, oddly. It's been kind of on a downward trend. Other cards are definitely up. I know I was looking at Sapphire. This is up.
Was there just too much hype baked into it in the first place?
Oh, that's kind of flat too.
Now
Maybe
it's hard for it to move up. Like what can Jackson Chorio do? Is kind of the question I think a lot of people are having, especially if you're considering buying him. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think he went 20-20 last year, so let's see 30-30. Let's see 30-30 this year.
I think he can do even better.
Yeah, I bet he can.
I expect big things from Chorio.
Now that the 50-50 club has been made, do we think 40-40 seasons are going to come just faster? More and more of them, especially with the new rules? Or do we think it's still going to be hard to get to like we've seen? You've seen Acuna get there, and that's it since who? Soriano?
Yeah. Jose Ramirez missed it by 1, right? So, I mean, Acuna and Ohtani got there. And Witt was a little bit shy last year, right?
Yeah, the power was closer to 30 home runs with Witt. So
yeah, I'm trying. I thought someone else So I mean, it's still impressive. I don't think there haven't been 10 seasons yet. I think of 40-40. So
yeah, I mean, O'Neal Cruz doesn't steal enough. Not anymore, I don't think. But Ellie De La Cruz, he's another one that needs to elevate the ball more.
Ellie could get there. That's actually he really is one.
Yeah.
We have some Ellie fans too, so they'll probably like that comment.
Yeah, when we one of the episodes that we recorded today, we talked about how Gunnar might join Witt, and those might be like the top 2 shortstops. Yeah, I mean probably, but Ellie could take another step forward. I mean, he does watch out.
He really could.
Yeah. He just has to improve the defense, or else he's going to be in center field like O'Neal Cruz.
Well, Ellie actually had good defensive metrics last year.
Didn't he lead the league in errors?
No, he didn't end up leading the league in errors, but so if you like advanced stats, they all loved Ellie. He was like top percentile for shortstops last year.
Oh, nice.
Because he's got a cannon.
Yeah,
like if I go to outs above average, Ellie De La Cruz, I think, is like one of the top 3 or 4 shortstops. I could be wrong, and I could just be remembering this incorrectly as kind of a biased fan. He was 4th. I'll just show you. That'll be easier than telling. So this is where Ellie ranked last year in outs above average. The reason he had so many errors is because he got to balls other players don't have any reason getting to. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's the opposite of the Jeter argument. When
exactly.
you don't move, it's hard to make. Exactly. It's hard to make 2 errors.
He had 15 outs above average last year, which was just behind Lindor and Witt. Like he was elite.
Yeah, 29 errors. That's tough.
That's too many errors. I don't care how many balls you're getting.
Where is that? Did he actually have 29 errors, or is that just
he had 29 errors last year. I'm looking at it as baseball card reference or baseball reference. He led the league in errors.
Yeah, he led the league in errors and strikeouts last year, which are not. Those aren't two.
Those aren't.
Man, that's gonna be a tough one for some viewers. Saying you're elite while leading the league in errors. I don't know. Depends how you look at stats.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they're not going to DH him like the Red Sox are with Devers. Certainly, he's better than that, but he might find himself in the outfield soon. It's possible, but the bat still plays.
I got to add one more since we're talking about toolsy shortstops. Somebody might want to know what we think about Sebastian Walcott, and maybe not many of us know a whole lot about.
I don't know who Sebastian Walcott.
I've got a few. I got a few bullet points. So he's a riser, not necessarily because of what he's been doing in the spring, but for other reasons. Really good age to level ratio. So he just turned 19 and he played 5 games in AA last year. And he's got 80 potential raw power on Bill James 2080 scale. Maybe Ty, maybe you can look at some market movement. So he's listed at 6'4", 6'4". He stole 27 bags last year. And Fangraphs literally says, if you're looking for the next Fernando Tatis Jr., this is your most likely candidate, meaning it could be him. If he, makes some improvements and maybe reaches some of that power in games, gets that on base percentage up, etc. So, anyways, James Anderson, who's RotoWire's prospect guru. If any of you guys do fantasy baseball, you might have run into him and his analysis on YouTube and other places. Most people that analyze prospects have Roman Anthony as the consensus number one overall prospect, but he has Sebastian Walcott as the number one. So that could be interesting. And he could attract a lot of hobby attention. He's already receiving some, as you can see here.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely trending in the right direction.
Prospects are so hard. Phil, you've historically done prospecting. You've done really well with it in the past, right? You've done it for a couple of years, though, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's not really your main spend now.
It's not.
If you had to put, who are you banking on? Everybody listening, Phil is not telling you who to buy. This is just.
We'll tell you that behind the paywall.
I think Cam Smith could be a decent short-term play if he cracks the roster. Like, whenever guys are 50-50, I feel like they get a little bit of a bump when that news happens. But I'd want to sell before the first game of the season. So
yes,
now if you buy a card, eBay authentication, you get a little delay. It's hard sometimes. No, I mean, don't like Cam Smith. That's like, and I don't even feel really that strongly about him, but Walcott could be the next big guy. Like, so was it 2 years ago? It was Jackson Holiday that was like coming up, and you could clearly tell he was probably going to be the number one guy, the number one prospect. And we know how that turned out, but you make most of your money on the promotions and ideally the MLB call up in before the actual first game played. In rare cases, you can make money if you hold the guy into major league action. But if you look at examples where that's worked well, it hasn't been like the top 10, 20 prospects. It's been guys that got called up out of the blue that ended up really outperforming, like Michael Harris.
If you say someone like Witt or someone like that, it took time. Yeah. It took a lot of time. You had to hold, and there was concern, and that's how it goes. So
they usually don't do that well when they get called up. So
all right, I want to mention two names before we wrap up. One is Matt Shaw, who I believe is going to be making his major league debut at 3 a.m. tonight, my time, 6 a.m. For you guys in Tokyo.
I'll be up. I get to watch it live.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what that guy can do. Anyone in Wrigley Field who's going to be young and has potential pop, I get excited. But the most important name we should all be talking about, again, this is Monday, March 17th. Spencer Strider returned to the mound this morning. This morning for me, this afternoon for you guys. I was watching it. If I look a little bit disheveled, it's because when it was over, I was so excited. I just like brutally went to town on myself for a while. But anyway, the short summary would be Strider faced 8 batters. They were Red Sox prospects, 2 of their really good ones. He struck out 6 of them. No one reached base, and only 1 of those 8 put a ball into fair territory. It was like a 2-hopper to second base. So he looked like Adam Sandler playing dodgeball against first graders in Billy Madison. So I am very, very excited to see, how he progresses. I think he'll be on the mound before the end of April. Quads are huge. Phil, you'd be happy to know. Lower body looks fantastic. He didn't struggle to work out with the elbow surgery.
Yeah, he was just doing squat. The leg press for the last year and a half.
Yeah, he was under a Smith machine for sure for the last 8 months.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Braves rotation this year too. So you and I have a thing in common this year.
Yeah, this like 12-ish month turnaround from the internal brace procedure. This is much quicker than the typical Tommy John, which is closer to like 17 or 18 months. And this could mean really good things for those who have recently got that procedure. Yuri Perez might be a good example of a hobby relevant guy. Kyle Bradish, maybe Ohtani even, but he's already way past his 12-month mark on that. So Lucas Giolito is another example in addition to Strider. He was about to be ready for April, 12-month turnaround, same thing. Then he hurt his hamstring and he's gonna be in the IL, but this is really cool. Good for modern science. Good for them.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching. Let us in the comments down below who you're paying attention to for spring training this year. And we'll see you in the next video.